and streaming on Paramount Plus.
We went from that summertime heat to some winter chill with high temperatures into the upper 30s for tomorrow. We still get some sunshine, but full details are coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, Marquette County declares a state of emergency due to flooding. Plus, Escanaba Schools gets a massive donation from a past student. And with April being Distracted Driving Awareness Month, we hear from an attorney on what motorists should keep in mind. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
And a first look at your forecast had some showers and storms earlier for today, but behind that was cold air. So we have some struggling high temperatures for tomorrow. Much different picture. Went from that summertime heat today back down to that kind of winter chill, temperatures into the 30s and the 40s. We will get some sunshine, but we will have those winds from the north, keeping that breeze in here. But I'll break down the rest of your weekend details and into next week in a few short minutes.
Kelly, thank you very much. Marquette County has declared a state of emergency ahead of expected flooding in areas of the county. Marquette County Board Chair Joe DeRocha signed the declaration earlier tonight. The declaration is a preemptive move to make sure essential personnel and resources are in place. The measure also put the Emergency Operations Center on alert in case vital roads are affected by the expected flooding. The declaration is necessary to access federal and state emergency funding if needed.
The weather event that's coming could potentially put an inch of rain into these floodplains, and we certainly want to make sure that the public knows and that we have safety precautions out there in place.
Sheriff Zybert reminds everyone in flood-prone areas to monitor Marquette County social media and heed any warnings of evacuation notices. Escanaba High School students will benefit from the generosity of one of the district's late alumni. Dr. David Millard Locke graduated from Escanaba High School in 1947. His mother had a long career as an educator with the school district and later as an elementary principal. After Locke's passing last year, he left $3.65 million to the district's scholarship fund, which supports well-rounded seniors in high academic standing. The high school principal says Locke's generous gift demonstrates the community-driven spirit of the district.
Once an Eskimo, always an Eskimo. This gentleman, he still was thinking about someplace that he hadn't probably been to in quite a long time. And for those kids, this gives them the chance to not be strapped down by social economic status and be able to pursue their dreams they just wouldn't have access to otherwise.
In life, Locke pursued his high school dream of becoming a research chemist, becoming associated with the Illinois Institute of Technology, the University of Chicago, and the University of Florida, where he was recognized as a distinguished educator, researcher, and mentor. April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, a critical time to spotlight a dangerous habit that continues to impact drivers, passengers, and pedestrians every day. Our John Truitt has more on what you can do to stay focused on the road.
It's a habit many drivers admit to, checking a text, adjusting the GPS, or grabbing a quick bite, often without thinking twice. But safety officials say those small distractions can quickly turn into life-changing decisions.
The biggest thing is always going to be our cell phones. It's, whether we're sitting at home or in the car or wherever we go, it's always a distraction with the cell phones. But it's not just the cell phone itself. It can be anything that's distracting, something on the side of the road, anything that takes away your attention from the road.
According to traffic safety experts, distracted driving continues to be one of the leading causes of crashes nationwide. Sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds, long enough to travel the length of a football field at highway speeds. Distracted driving in the state of Michigan is illegal, and if you absolutely have to read that text or return that phone call, the only way to safely do it is pull over and put it in park.
Actually, drivers who are texting are 23 times more likely to be in a crash as compared to if you're not texting. And that number, 23 times more likely to be involved in a crash, is the same number as if someone is driving drunk.
Michigan has 2 laws aimed at distracted driving. The first says all phones must be hands-free. and the second is aimed at younger drivers.
When drivers get their learner permit and early license of level 1 and 2, driver's license with 1 and 2 cannot use a cell phone in any way.
The bottom line, put down your phone. Not only will you get a ticket and be fined, but you might also cause a crash with consequences that could last a lifetime. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
Safety experts encourage drivers to use phone features such as Do Not Disturb to help reduce the risk of distracted driving. With the April 21st deadline approaching, several Michigan candidates are turning in thousands of signatures to secure a spot in the August primary ballot. Republican U.S. Senate candidate Mike Rogers filed his signatures today, pointing to what his campaign calls strong grassroots support across the state. In the race for governor, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson also submitted, highlighting a statewide coalition of supporters. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson also filed, calling his campaign a working-class effort built across Michigan.
Don't forget about rural America. Don't forget about rural Michigan. Don't forget about the UP. Don't forget about the Fruit Belt, the Sunrise. It's not just about the big 5 counties. This campaign touches everybody.
Candidates must submit a minimum number of valid signatures to qualify for the ballot, with the primary election set for August. As the fate of the 2-week ceasefire in the U.S. and Israeli war against Iran remains uncertain, President Trump says negotiators are expected to meet this weekend. Iran's foreign minister announced earlier that it would reopen the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic. President Trump spoke about that and more as he headlined a rally for Turning Point USA with Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. Carissa Lawson reports from New York.
Appearing at a Turning Point USA event in Phoenix Friday, President Trump said there has been progress in peace negotiations between the U.S. and Iran.
Most of the points are already negotiated and agreed to. You'll be very happy.
The president also announced new developments in the U.S. military blockade in the region as the ceasefire with Iran holds up so far.
This will be a great and brilliant day for the world because Iran has just announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open and ready for business.
Before the war, the maritime trade route handled about 20% of global oil supplies. Observers say it will take time before tanker traffic in the strait returns to normal levels.
A full reopening is going to take up to 6 months. And the reason for that is there's been so much damaged infrastructure in the Mideast Gulf that to get back to normalized exports is going to take a long time.
While the president says Iran has agreed to never close it again, Iran said, quote, closing the strait would be easy if the blockade against its ships continues. President Trump has said the blockade will remain in full force until Tehran and Washington strike a deal that includes ending Iran's nuclear program.
They will never have a nuclear weapon. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
In a phone call with CBS News, Trump said Iran has, quote, agreed to everything, including to stop enriching uranium forever. He also said the U.S. and Iran will work together to remove the enriched uranium currently in the country, but insisted it would not involve U.S. ground troops.
Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast after the break. Plus, meet the MSU students who are reenacting the Constitutional Convention. That and more when we come back.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. Are you ready for some fur-tastic fun to celebrate your dog or puppy? WZMQ and Poets Pet Parlor invite you to submit a photo of your pups in our Show Us Your Pup photo contest. Then, on April 23rd, one random winner will win a $50 gift certificate for boarding and daycare at Poets Pet Parlor. Visit WZMQ19.com/pup to submit your photo and your chance to win today. Entries accepted now through April 22nd.
At the MicroWorks Foundation, we help people get the training they need to land an AI-proof six-figure job. Here in Michigan, that means plumbers, electricians, welders, pipe fitters, mechanics, linemen, HVAC techs, and so many other high-paying opportunities that don't require a 4-year degree. We've set aside millions of dollars to help train people who want to learn a skill that's in demand. If that sounds like you, apply today for a work ethic scholarship at microworks.org.
All new Monday. No pressure, man. You're just playing Michael Jackson. From Michael, Jafar Jackson, and Giuliano Valdi. Do you still have the moves?
Okay, yeah.
Plus, from One Piece to Rithra Chandran. Do you like doing all that kind of stuff, the action in it?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Okay, you look like you're having a good time. What an actor.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, Monday at 5 on WZMQ CBS.
I am stunned.
The Golden Girls are on MeTV.
Are you trying to tell us that you are stunned?
See the always stunning Blanche, Rose, Dorothy, and Sophia.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Weeknights on MeTV 19.1. Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News. Now, from the 19 News Forecast Center, this is WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We are ready for the weekend, ready for Saturday and Sunday. We had some warmth for today, of course, with some showers and storms, but we did reach 62 degrees for the Upper Peninsula for Marquette's high, and 47 degrees is the average, but we are going to take a major flip-flop of that from going above average, and most of the weekend, pretty much all of it, will be below average. There was lots of cold air behind that line of showers and storms, so that has put our high temperatures at kind of a struggling mark right now. Tomorrow morning, things should be dry. One of the benefits to severe weather sometimes with that is it kind of stabilizes the atmosphere once it moves through, so we are going to be settling into a more dry pattern. Yes, it's on the cold side, but at least we won't see any major rain or snow events. Doesn't mean we won't see a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, just nothing too concerning at this point, especially for the weekend. With all that cold air moving through, yes, we know it's not out of the question to get a few snowflakes behind it, and we very well could see that for most of the day tomorrow and then even into Sunday, but I don't really think it'll accumulate too much. I don't anticipate much in general anyway, and with some sunshine getting into Monday and those high temperatures above the freezing mark, it's going to be really tough for any of that snow to really stick, but you may see a few flakes flying around because the winds have shifted from the south and we're still trying to get that cold front to move through, but we already know we can see some cold temperatures and some increased winds now from the west and the northwest, the west-northwest behind it, so that is going to make the high temperatures go into the 30s as we know. And then for most of the day tomorrow and into Sunday, we'll have a pretty good wind gust from the west. We can see maybe up to about 40 miles per hour or so, so just watch out for that little bit of breeze and the wind gusts for the late afternoon time tomorrow. And we are talking about rain and snow chances, but not anything big, I don't think, at this point. I know we're still trying to deal with those flooding issues, so we may add on a little bit of rain here throughout the rest of the overnight and into tomorrow morning. And then really once that cold air continues to take over the area, there could be some of these snowflakes. This is probably a little too overdone, I would say, too. We'll maybe just see a few flakes and a few hundredths of an inch perhaps, but really once we clear that overnight time frame, we'll go from the very likelihood of rain to basically nothing, and it's going to be a pretty dry weekend for us, not seeing any type of weather that is planned canceling by any means. Yes, it'll be colder, so you may just need to put on those extra layers at times here. But then the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, I put near normal, but we'll see maybe a little bit of a push of some warmth once we can get those temperatures to recover. So it is going to be a cold weekend. Saturday probably a little colder than originally anticipated because of that strong storms that moved through. But the start of next week will be into the 40s and the 50s, and eventually by this time next week we'll get back to the 60s, and then we'll see that better chance of rain return to the area.
Kelly, thank you. On this week's Community Price Check, we spoke with Contrast Coffee in Marquette to discuss what they've noticed in their coffee imports. Contrast obtains its coffee beans from import companies in New York and Minneapolis who receive those beans directly from producers in southern countries. However, the company says in the past few years, they've seen these imports spike in prices, especially following initial tariff effects. Higher prices on each pound, next to statewide wage increases, have led to some Michigan coffee shops adding slight adjustments to their prices.
Most coffees right now, I believe, are double what they were just a few years ago. Even if it's spread out over thousands and thousands of cups of coffee, it's still impactful to everyone along the chain.
Tomorrow morning, Contrast will be one of 12 coffee shops participating in the 8th annual Marquette Coffee Crawl. Proceeds will go towards the Marquette Women's Center for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. WZMQ is looking ahead to the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, with stories from across the state celebrating our nation. This spring, a small group of students at Michigan State University is getting ready to wrap up their semester by ratifying the U.S. Constitution. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has a look inside the classroom.
This has been super fun. It's the most fun I've ever had in the class, probably.
Inside of Professor Jordan Cash's senior seminar, Spartans just weeks away from graduation are applying what they've learned by holding a reenactment of the original United States Constitutional Convention.
We spend the first half of the semester as kind of regular college seminar, looking at James Madison's notes on the convention, and then the second half, we have a simulation.
Each student has been assigned a role as a founding father with individual goals and motives. They prepare arguments and speeches in their own time with 4 or 5 assigned essays depending on their founder.
There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes before any vote gets called.
Then, during class time, they simulate the Constitutional Convention, holding discussions, votes, and caucus, all working toward individual goals and ratifying the Constitution before the end of their semester.
Trying to make deals with people, either to vote for this thing and I'll vote for that, or make some sort of compromise.
The class offers a fun and engaging platform to learn about our history by performing it. Practically, the class allows for students to develop speech and debate skills while making sure there's an in-depth understanding of the founding principles of our country.
Even if I'm arguing based on something I don't agree with, I'm looking at philosophy, I'm looking at law, I'm looking at past precedents, which I think is great preparation for law school and honestly just legal practice in general.
These students are on track to start master's programs in law school, going into careers in law, economics, policy, and politics. This class celebrates the founding, but also sets them up for success as they get ready to graduate May 2nd.
To understand the Constitution in general is to understand the rules of the game. They can better understand the system that they're not only living in, but then potentially working in and seeking to make a change in.
In East Lansing, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Tomorrow is National Record Store Day. We're celebrating independent record shops across the country. This comes as new data shows interest in vinyl is only getting stronger. Meanwhile, there are questions about the environmental impact as new artists release coveted collector's series on vinyl. Jared Hill has more.
This blast from the past continues to spin shockwaves through the music industry.
You are never alone if you're in a room with a record player and the record's playing.
In 2025, sales of vinyl records grew for a 19th consecutive year. That's according to the Recording Industry Association of America. Mike Davis says things were a lot different when he opened New York's Academy Records 25 years ago.
That was sort of the low point, at least in the commercial landscape for records.
He noticed a real shift a few years ago. Studies show today Gen Z is driving the record revival, sometimes influenced by social media.
I'm sure some of it, sometimes they heard a song on TikTok video or something.
TikTok is bringing people to the record store.
Yeah.
Not quite the case for Joseph Mintz.
My dad took me to a record store just once and I fell in love with it.
The 20-year-old says he's been collecting vinyl since he was 10.
Someone can just take their music off Spotify or streaming at any time. If you own the record, you own the record.
Vinyl's rebirth has been buoyed by newer artists like Taylor Swift, dropping multiple colored variants of the same album, sending fans flocking, but raising questions about sustainability.
The industry is making a lot of records. It creates a lot of excess waste.
Matt Slifkin works for record manufacturer Independent Record Pressing. Over the past year, he says they've seen a huge increase in interest from artists like Paramore's Hayley Williams to press new records from the rainbow-colored leftovers of old ones. It's called EcoMix.
It helps answer environmental concerns because it's already made. It's already at the facility.
Back at the store, Joseph's hunt continues.
Anything that I can find that I'm like, oh, I've never seen this one before, you know.
As for vinyl, the beat goes on.
Mike Ludlam has your look at sports after the break. After a great season, the Ishpeming girls basketball team continues to receive accolades. We'll be right back after this.
Now through April at Fox Marquette Subaru, lease a 2026 Subaru Forester Premium for $399 a month for 36 months or get 1.9% APR for 75 months. Fox Marquette Subaru. Experience the difference.
It's Earth Month in the Upper Peninsula. Small actions make a big impact. Recycle 906 accepts cans, cardboard, plastics, and more, helping keep the UP clean and thriving. This Earth Month, recycle smarter. See what we accept at recycle906.com.
Chips or cracks, we've got your back. Brian's Auto Glass.
Cracked windshield, chipped glass? Don't wait. Call Brian's Auto Glass in Nagani. We specialize in expert windshield replacement, chip and crack repairs, and safety system calibrations to keep your vehicle road ready. Can't come to us? No problem. We'll come to you with our mobile service. Fast, professional, local. Brian's Auto Glass, where clear vision starts.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
Hey Mace, did you order your prom outfit yet?
Yeah, Mom, I'll do it.
Hey, have you gotten your prom tux yet?
Yeah, Mom, I got it.
Mason, did you order your prom tux yet?
Yeah, it's coming. Mom!
Skip the guesswork this prom season. Come down to Young's Menswear. We get it right the first time. With tons of in-stock options to rent or buy, we'll help you look your best. Don't wait. Trust the experts at Young's Menswear, now in Escanaba and Marquette.
Now through April at Fox Marquette Subaru. Lease a 2026 Subaru Crosstrek base for $289 a month for 36 months. Or get 2.9% APR for 75 months. Fox Marquette Subaru. Experience the difference.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a pretty good week for Ishpeming girls basketball coach Ryan Rico. He's been named Coach of the Year by 2 organizations. Rico has been selected as the overall girls Coach of the Year by the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. Earlier, he was named Division IV Coach of the Year by Michigan Sports Writers. The Hematites went 25-3 in winning this year's state crown, the second in 3 seasons. Rico and the Hepatites had to overcome scheduling obstacles during finals week, playing a quarterfinal game on Wednesday night in Gaylord, then driving to East Lansing for the semifinal game on Thursday against top-ranked Morenci. That was followed by a finals win over Portland St. Patrick on Saturday, March 21st. Rico was named UP Division Coach of the Year in both 2024 and 2026. Time is starting to run out for buying your tickets to the 54th Annual Upper Peninsula Sports Hall of Fame Induction Banquet. Tickets must be purchased by next Wednesday, April 22nd. The banquet is set for Saturday, May 9th at the Island Resort and Casino in Harris. Banquet tickets are $40 per person. The evening begins with a social hour at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, followed by a brief introduction and meal at 6 p.m. Then the induction ceremony follows the dinner. For more information and or reserving your seat, you can call one of the phone numbers you'll see here on the screen from the council members, including Terry Duval, Chuck Verko, Mike Caruso, and Phil DeGabriel, along with Mike Mackey, Don Gustafson, Kathy Shamian, or Anna Koenig. Again, the banquet is May 9th at the Island Resort and Casino. A standout athlete from the Upper Peninsula has signed a national letter of intent to play football at NMU. Pickford's Gunnar Bennon has been one of the best all-around athletes in the Eastern UP. In football, he helped the Purple and White reach the 8-player state finals in 2024. He has been an Upper Peninsula Dream Team running back the past 2 seasons. Bennon gained nearly 1,900 yards and scored 33 touchdowns last fall. He also threw 7 scoring passes. But according to the SiouxLeader.com, NMU would like to play him at defensive back. In basketball, Bennon is on this season's UP Dream Team, averaging 18.6 points per game and 7.5 rebounds. He also was named an All-State Honorable Mention in Division IV basketball by the Sports Writers of Michigan. Grand Valley State has dominated the GLIAC Men's Golf Championship in Augusta, Michigan. The Lakers had the top 4 individuals to take the stroke play portion of the tournament. Davenport was second with Ferris State, and Wayne State tied for third. The Lakers defeated Davenport in the match play format for the overall championship. NMU was 8th of the 9 teams. The Wildcats were led by Arthur Ilatalo, who was tied for 21st with a 5 over par score in the 3-day event. Menomineen's Brady Badker was the next Wildcat on the list, tied for 33rd at 12 over par. A Negaunee hockey player will join the Beloit College women's team next season. Nicole Kirkla previously played for the Keweenaw Wings and the Superior Icebreakers in the UP. The Beloit Buccaneers struggled last season, but recently elevated Kelly Millens from interim head coach to permanent head coach. An Alger County High School cheerleader will continue her sport at Ferris State. Bailey Tinner of Munising will be on the Bulldogs all-girl Crimson cheer team. Ferris has her listed position as a base. I guess that means she stays on the ground most of the time. Turning to scores in high school baseball, Cooper Sandville had 13 strikeouts in 5 innings and allowed just 1 hit as Gladstone defeated Ironwood 7-1 the first game of the doubleheader. Braves took the second one 8-0. North Central and Gwynn split. The Jets take game 1 8-5. The Model Towners win the second 8-4. Marquette, rough trip down to Traverse City Central, falling 13-3 and 9-0. Also, Crivets edges Norway 9-8, and Florence down at North Dickinson 12-4. Calumet made the trip to Green Bay East. The Red Devils squeak out a 2-0 victory. On the softball side, Lakeland and Hubble takes 2 from Menominee, 19-4 and 11-7. Hancock over Houghton 5-3, and Calumet girls also down in Green Bay, winning over the Trojans 12-6 over Southwest. Community College softball, Delta sweeps Bay 5-0 and 10-2. On the baseball side, it was Delta winning 13-7 and 4-2, but in the first game, Bay's Jake Rolfe hit 2 solo home runs for the Norse. Major League Baseball, the Tigers, the Red Sox on a Friday. Tigers with that 6-game winning streak. Yeah, they're 2-8 on the road, though. Pitching, quite good. Casey Mize strikes out Roman Anthony here. No score. Bottom of the 6th, runner on 3rd. No, that's not going to work. Mize strikes out Wilson Contreras. Top of the 7th. Oh, yes, Boston getting good pitching as well, as Ranger Suarez freezes Jahmai Jones on that one. Then he strikes out the new guy, Hao Yu Lee, just called up from Toledo, still scoreless. Top of the 9th, Jones gets back into it. He's going to put this one down the left field line into the corner, getting a couple runners in scoring position. Yeah, he wouldn't have made it to the plate. But at the next at-bat, Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, he's with the Red Sox now. Strikes out Dylan Dingler. We're still scoreless. No, so let's go to the 10th. Bottom of the 10th, unfortunately, for Tigers fans. 1 out, runners on the corners, and Masataka Yoshida takes care of business, bouncing one through the infield. Jaron Duran scores, and the Red Sox win this one in 10, 1-0. How about the Brewers? They're in Florida taking on the Miami Marlins. 6th inning, Otto Lopez goes deep to center field. They say this one went 401 feet, and it's a 4-3 lead for Milwaukee still at that point. To the 8th, Agustin Ramirez doubles down the left field line. Xavier Edwards will cross the plate, and that knotted the contest at 4. We went into extra innings in this one as well. Top of the 10th, Brewers with a 1-run lead when Garrett Mitchell will double to left field, scoring Joey Ortiz and Jake Bowers, and that was enough for the Brewers to win this one by the score of 7-4, and we will be right back.
Are you ready for some fur-tastic fun to celebrate your dog or puppy? WZMQ and Poets Pet Parlor invite you to submit a photo of your pups in our Show Us Your Pup photo contest. Then, on April 23rd, one random winner will win a $50 gift certificate for boarding and daycare at Poets Pet Parlor. Visit WZMQ19.com/pup to submit your photo and your chance to win today. Entries accepted now through April 22nd.
My company's audit efficiency for 60,000 businesses. As governor, my mega audits will identify billions in waste and fraud to finally bring Michigan property tax reform and eliminate the state income tax. 4747. We'll audit every dime in the Office of Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, and hold her accountable for gross incompetence. Our mega audits will bring sunlight back to Michigan.
We know that everybody loves me. We also know that everybody loves Raymond. But did you know everybody loves his brother and his wife and his parents too? It's a family everybody can love.
Everything you could want in one show.
Weeknights on MeTV 19.1. Sophia Murphy reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News. Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
Andersen brand products are #1 in quality, and the Window Store is your local Andersen expert for installation and service of all Andersen windows and doors. From showroom to your home, Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store. Andersen is the #1 trusted window and door brand. The Window Store is the Upper Peninsula's clear choice for windows and doors. Now that's a perfect fit. From showroom to your home, Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store.
And a final check of your forecast. Things are very different from what we felt today and into the weekend, especially for tomorrow. We went from a lot of us feeling close to 80 degrees at times, and we're back down to the 30s and the 40s for your Saturday. Still a good day to try to get out and enjoy some activities. You may just need a few extra layers than you originally thought, but we know how things can swing here pretty quickly temperature-wise into the UP, and that's exactly what's happening going into tomorrow. Going to have those high temperatures that struggle to see that 40 mark, of course, closer to that Wisconsin border down to Iron Mountain and Menominee. You have those better chances of the maybe mid 40s, but it's going to be a bit chilled for tomorrow. We decrease those rain chances though. We get that major storm system out of the way, and then things are looking dry for the weekend. There may be a stray raindrop, a stray snowflake here and there, but for the most part just going to see some sunshine peeking through for tomorrow to help things warm up, but then even colder temperatures for Sunday. But we rebound fairly quickly back into Monday and Tuesday with temperatures into the 40s and 50s.
Kelly, thank you again. And Mike, you have another Coach of the Year headline.
We do have another Coach of the Year. J.B. Bickerstaff of the Pistons has been named Coach of the Year by the National Basketball Coaches Association. The Pistons will be playing Miami on Sunday because Miami blew out Charlotte tonight 121-90 in that final play-in game. Tomorrow at the Superior Dome, if you want to get there around noon or 1 o'clock, different kind of objects flowing around. It will be Guts Frisbee. All kinds of games involved throughout the afternoon, maybe into the early evening as well. I think admission is still free, so if you don't have anything to do and you want to see stuff flying around, that's a good place to go.
Sounds like a good time to me, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you all for watching, and have a great weekend.
From now through April at Fox Marquette Ford, lease a 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive for $379 a month for 36 months. Fox Marquette Ford. Experience the difference.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process.